It's the time of year for WIP parades and finish parades and tallying up what we've done and making plans for what we want to do in the year to come. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and I cannot wait to show you my works in progress. I'm only going to show the things I have actually stitched on in 2021. Believe me, there are a whole lot more than this. There weren't a lot of finishes for 2021, but what I did finish, I loved. The first one was just one more page, and Amy from Amityville suggested a stitch along of this. I had printed out the pattern and really wanted to stitch it, but who knows when I would have gotten around to it. And with her motivation, I got it done really quickly, and I finished mine into a Kindle sleeve, which I don't keep my Kindle in a Kindle sleeve. I totally should, and when I am done filming this, I'm going to go take my Kindle off the shelf it's in and actually put it in the sleeve. This was a fun project. I also finished lunch. This was a Riolis kit. This is very much not the style of what I usually stitch, but I fell in love with it. I don't know why. I wanted to do bacon with a lot of fancy back stitching, and it was fun. I have breakfast, the companion piece in my stash already, and I also want to get my hand on dinner because I have an idea of how to finish these for my kitchen that I may or may not do, but they are quick, inexpensive kits and a whole lot of fun to do. This is Lovebirds, and it was from an issue of Just Cross Stitch, February 2021, I think. I will put all the details for all this stuff in the description. It turns out I really like stitching monochromatic pieces, and I really like white floss when it's just white floss. And pairs of birds make my heart go pitty-pat. One of the birds has eyelashes, and I love the way that the designer used back stitching in the same color as the fabric to add detail. The chart was written for pink fabric. I substituted blue and found a blue fabric to work for the back stitching. And I hit our anniversary date in here, so this is not a wedding sampler. I still, after 30 years of marriage, plan a wedding sampler. This is like a placeholder until this happens. And then my last finish close to the end of the year was Thanksgiving House. It's a free pattern from Pinker Pumpkin Quilting, and I am just loving these saltbox houses. I want to stitch every last one of them and am making strides in that direction. Don't expect me to get there quickly. And if that seems like I didn't finish a lot in 2021, because it really seems like that 4 finishes is not nearly enough, let me show you what I did sink all my time into. Let's start our project parade. I cannot pronounce the name of this chart. I started stitching first evening in their own home for the Riola Stitch Along. You would think with a decade of speech therapy I could get that out of my mouth, but no. And that was my son's speech therapy. That doesn't even count all of my speech therapy as a kid. I love this. I have got like 80 plus hours of stitching in this. I love it. I adore it. I'm kind of burned out on it, so it is taking a bit of a break. But this is where a lot of my stitching time for the year went. And then a lot of the rest of my stitching time went to this one. This is Noise of Waterfall. And the folks at Riola sent me the kit to use for a video that I did earlier this year. It is on 10 count Aida, and I cannot sing the praises of this 10 count Aida enough. This is a huge project. The detail, the colors, I just love it. And again, I've got a lot of hours in that, not as many as I have in First Evening in Their Own Home. And I have a lot more hours to go, but I do not regret a single one of them. I have a couple of WIPs that have gone missing, and that is frustrating me like you would not believe. This is Mad Bluebird, and I have got the whole bird done and a really big chunk of the stump he's sitting on done. And I don't know where it is. I would have finished it by the end of this year if I could have found it. Same with Morning Lake. I am probably more than 3/4 of the way through with Morning Lake, and I have the threads, I have the charts. What I don't have is the half-stitched piece. Also in my grave is playing hide and seek, but at least I know it is all in its own project bag. My hope is that I will find these as I am reorganizing my stash in the new year. My worst fear is that these relatively small pieces of fabric may have gotten scooped up with something else and may not show up for a long time. But it's okay. I'll get over it. Now let's get on to the projects I absolutely love and cannot wait to get back to work on. Beach Babies probably could have gone into the pile with Noise of Waterfall and First Evening in Their Own Home. I spent a lot of time on this one, and I do not regret a minute of it. It is a dimensions kit. It is all kinds of fun. It's got fiddly parts. It's got easy parts. It's got probably more back stitching than I want to do, but that's okay. I will get through it. And I spent a chunk of time on Furry Friends. When I started this project a couple of years ago, I didn't love it. I love the image. I love the idea of it. I didn't love the reality of stitching this lampshade up here. But I keep circling back to it, and I keep adding more stitches, and every time I do, I keep liking it more. That is the same situation I've got going on with European Bistro. This one looks harder than it is. It's a gold collection kit. It's got a tremendous lot yet to be stitched, but it is fun. And I don't know why I didn't stitch more on it. There weren't as many hours to stitch in this year as I would have liked. And that's a shame, but I have hopefully decades left ahead of me on this world that I can work on stitching this stuff, and I'm not going to fuss over what I did and what I didn't do right now. Rainy Summer is one of my newest starts, and I am loving this one both for the colors and the subject matter, and also the fact that this is all half stitches. So progress on this when I actually have time to sit down and work on it is amazingly fast. All of these blended colors and similar colors are a challenge, but I believe it will be worth it. And then I almost forgot Crow Creek Salt Box. This is another of the freebies from Pinker Pumpkin Quilting. I love the salt boxes, and I love that this one is such a fabulous bright yellow. There are going to be some pumpkins down here and some crows up here on the vine, and it makes me smile every time I work on it. The colors of Dutch Still Life still absolutely amaze me, but I can't seem to work up enough enthusiasm to work on it for long stretches. I don't know why. It's fun until it isn't. And I bounce back and forth on wanting this to be the next thing I finish and wanting to put it away and not look at it for a few more months. Last and probably least is this one. It is Stitcher's ABC by Designworks. And it's what is behind that video I did on why I don't really like Designworks kits. I want to stitch it. I will stitch it. I don't dislike this thread enough to rekit it with new DMC, but I'm not in a hurry to pick it up again. Guys, you won't believe what I found when I was packing things carefully back into their project bags. It's Morning Lake. I have been looking for this for several months, getting steadily and steadily more concerned about what happened to it. It was between the folded pages of the chart. Yes, I realize how utterly stupid that is and how dumb that makes me look, but I don't care because look at how much more than 3/4 of the way this is finished this is. I am happy. I'm happy. I'm giddy. There is no word for it. Relieved. I'm going to go work on stitching this while the video uploads. Let me know, what do you think I should stitch on in the new year? I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and I'll be back with you with more videos soon. Thanks for watching.